Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents The Titan's Gift. Season 2, Episode 5. I'm your DM and host, joined by Marty, joined by the full Seattle crew.
Thanks for joining us, Marty.
Yeah, no problem. Matt, Gene, and Neil, how is everyone doing on this fine Thursday night? We have been alternating Tuesdays and Thursdays. Eventually we'll be all Thursdays, but for now we're going to juggle between those 2 days. Woo! How's everyone doing?
Yeah, good.
What's going on with you folks? Let's do the how'd you do before we start.
How are you now? Pretty good. I got this pizza here. Ready to play some wizardry. Spent a lot of time leveling up the old character in the last 2 weeks.
You guys got level 7?
Level 7's a fun one.
Pouring through the interwebs for freaky deaky spells for the professor to use. Pretty excited.
Nice.
How about the rest of you fine lads?
Neil, what's going on with you, man?
Everything's good, man. I've got family coming in a couple of weeks, so I'm really looking forward to that. We're preparing the house, getting some places for everybody to sleep and making arrangements. So it's a crazy busy time, but haven't seen the family in a long time, so I'm looking forward to it.
Are they coming in from South Africa?
Yeah, they are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they are.
That's a bit of a trick.
That's a bit of a trek, yeah. That's a bit of a trek.
Cool. Gene, what's going on with you, boss?
Not much.
That is a wonderful juxtaposition. Nothing.
It's extremely difficult for the rest of us to get a word in with Gene around the table. I mean, he just talks so much.
How's work going?
My puppy is getting bigger.
Is he? Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
She passed 13 pounds.
Yeah.
How's the training going?
He sometimes responds. He knows the commands.
Okay.
He doesn't necessarily follow them, but he definitely knows them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sounds like a smart one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's better than a really, really dumb dog.
Yeah.
I think I prefer a smart one over a really dumb one. There's a point where it just doesn't know and can't respond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt, what's up with you, man?
Yeah, not much. No, I got a new job.
You got a new job? Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations.
New job? Right in time for the holidays?
Yep, starting January. Leaving my current job in early December. Taking most of December off. Gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Most congratulations.
Yeah, I'm delighted.
Relaxation? Or are you traveling?
Traveled to Indiana for about a week.
Yep.
In there around Christmas, but mostly relaxation, I think.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Work for me has been busy. It's going to slow down hopefully after Thanksgiving. Probably not until middle of December. Staycation at the end of December. Hopefully we'll get lots of gaming in.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to the Thanksgiving weekend just to sleep. It's pretty bad when you just want to
I can believe you, man.
barricade yourself indoors and hibernate for a few days, and I think that'll do the body good. For the channel, let's see. I've visually refreshed the panels for the other game. I'm going to work on the same refresh for the Titan's Gift game, and then I've put in an order for some new emotes. So we'll have some new dragon emotes to share with the folks on the stream. And with that, why don't we do a recap of what happened last game? Last game was called 24 Humans, which was the unit of measure for all illusion spells. Groups of 8 humans. Is that really Luke?
What's that? Sorry, work.
The unit of measure of illusion spells?
Yeah.
The number of humans?
About 8 average human sizes.
It's not decibels of how loud things can be. It's how much noise 8 humans can make. The Jerks Emeritus tangle with a panicked herd of desert Rothae and a trio of winged horrors. During the battle, a strange half-giant appears through the door that Zephyros carries upon his back. A wayward soul, who seemed to have been captured by agents of Baba Yaga, rescued or helped rescue himself alongside of Ludo, who was sent to Bostera, where you guys are, via the Key of Infinite Doors. This half-giant seemed competent enough with his oversized bow, was able to participate in the felling of, I think, 2 of the 3 beasts. You scared one away with illusion spells. He seemed a little bit... He's still a stranger who seemed to be fine with kicking his boots off near the fire and laying back and going to sleep under the star-filled sky of Bostera that night.
Yikes.
The stars were out in full. Thousands and thousands of them glittering down from the firmament above.
None of them slowly winking out one by one. We don't notice, but...
If you would like me to wax poetic about the stars, I can.
Always.
The stars of Bostera,
yeah.
without the lights here, without the lights of civilization and of station, the stars here remind Fereosae of garden. Whenever you would peek through the canopy above, there was a glittering canopy or a canopy in the sky, if you will, of lights, twinkling motes. Sometimes when the motes were out, it was hard to distinguish the stars from the fey creatures themselves. Always, the fey sought to read the stars as if they had stories to tell of deities, battles, and events long past. The professor had a different experience with stars. When he was still an undergraduate student at the Madabasta University, he thought that he was going to become a diviner, as a diviner was a way to, peel back the layers of the onion and find things. But there was a particular professor that you remember that was very closed-minded when it came to augury through stargazing. And you remember one of his lectures that he really came down hard on a young Henry Sinclair that one day. Stargazing is nothing but the hopeful imaginations. Finding patterns is what you will if you are seeking them without the foundation of knowledge and the way of scientific exploration.
Ooh, my.
You will find a square if you're given 4 points. Polygons all over. Know this, that in my younger days, much younger than you, I had much more wisdom. And when I peeked at the stars, I knew that they were simply reflections of hope, mirrored images of a single candle in a carnival funhouse.
Scribbling away, the professor absorbs every word.
The professor, it's been a while since he's been out in Bostera. Fuck that professor. Every time you look at the stars, you think of his crabby closed-mindedness to everything. In fact, you don't think there was an idea or theory that he liked. He dismissed everything. The consummate cynic. But you were at a time when you were trying to absorb anything that he may have rubbed off on you in one way, shape, or form. Or perhaps you rebelled against him and the establishment of knowledge.
I'll never be as close-minded as that old claptrap.
Zephyros, your people trace their ancestry in the stars. Here in Bostera, they keep track of the stars' movements. And there are some that can call upon the stars' powers. to make magic happen. While you were much more interested in terrestrial magics that went boom, there are some oracles that are stargazers.
And perhaps to make boom using stars, allegedly.
This goes as deep as to say that the stargazers themselves saw patterns in the stars that were all cyclical in nature.
Right.
You also know that you can navigate by the stars.
Ooh, that is handy.
Although I'm not too sure if you've got any ranks in survival and if you know how to do so. Speaking of one who probably knows how to navigate by the stars. Huh. The stars look really familiar and are very similar in Bostera than they did in
Beastlands.
the Beastlands. If you're in another pocket dimension, why do the stars look the same?
Did one of us realize that or say that?
Oh, Gene, as he got stoned a little bit and leaned back and he's like, huh, there's the big one with the three little ones. Although it's kind of like you tilted your head around. This is handy to know. You've got ranks in survival. You think you could use the stars, maybe with a little bit of study, to know which way is which. Of course, you need points of reference.
Has Saun said he's from the Beastlands at any point?
No, but he's not from Station. All of his stuff looks so organic and from animals. His bow, if you scrutinize it, looks like it's made from some gigantic rib of some creature.
Mm-hmm.
He's dressed in many layers of animal skin and rough woven clothing. He has survival gear that is not meant for the desert. A fish out of water a bit, but he seems comfortable, and he seems to trust you guys enough that he's eventually closed his eyes and is completely helpless in your camp.
We murdering!
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, we're not gonna murder you.
Of course, you realize that you guys have also dropped your guard a little bit.
Oh, for sure. I'm sleeping like
One good fight and a good word from Ludo. I suppose there is some measure of friendship or understanding amongst the Jerks Emeritus.
Also, who the fuck
Your family, the temple that you grew up in, saw the stars completely as something different. Not something practical to navigate your way, but as a place where they wanted to be. They wanted and tried through various methods, which I'm not going to go into at this point in time. Gene sort of knows what I'm talking about, to reach the stars. Ever grasping for these pinpricks of light that have never really yielded much. Perhaps only your great-grandfather, I don't know how many greats there are, your great-grandfather himself has brushed up against whatever entities and things live in these ever-permanent lights in the sky.
So he says.
Or so he says. Speaking of cynics. The true nature of them is beyond you at this point in time, but it is one more mystery that mayhaps in your collective knowledge has been revealed. Can I stop talking about stars now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, alright, okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
But thank
you know
you.
who the real star is here, Marty?
Oh, shut it. Don't be that. That's not why we do. Alright, morning comes to Bostera. It is a very warm one this morning. The Vark are wondering if you've gotten everything that you need. In fact, one of the brave Varks approaches Zephyros, who looks like he's injured. Oh, some of you are injured. So, a night's rest restores your level and hit points if you did not if you didn't receive doctoring, so I think everyone gets 7 hit points back.
Do we have anybody that could do healing yet? I don't think we have a healer in our party, do we?
No, we just have.
Not a specific sort of healer, yeah.
Oh, Saun had provided no, he had done treat physical wounds. You could use the heal skill that night to play like doctor and like heal more. If you had a successful heal check, everyone would get 14 back. That was doctored instead of 7. Let me check the DCs on healing that way. You guys are healing the old-fashioned way.
That's right.
Ointments and unguents and
Or
bandages and provide long-term care is DC 15, and how many people can you get? You can tend to as many 6 patients at one time. It takes 8 hours to do, so somebody would have been busy that night tending to everyone. That would allow you to recover 14 instead of 7.
See, if only we had access to devil blood or unholy water, then I could think of a great suggestion for us.
Tech does have ranks in healing. He's got a plus 15 with his healer's kit. So
Tech would certainly be willing to provide provide care to Zephyros.
Tech Sarakagat doesn't sleep much. He's always in motion. He's always doing something camp, always gathering firewood, always like preparing food. And he sees that you're injured and just starts tending to you. Let me know if anyone refuses that tending. And
Zephyros needs it.
yeah, Zephyros is fucked up from the sonic blasts of those creatures.
Zephyros still has 39 damage.
Yep. He rolls a nat 1, however, he gets the 15 because he has a plus 15, and on this skill check there is no critical failure for 1. He does have to use a single use of his healer kit for this.
Sure.
Which he's carrying 2 of them.
Did you just take that off?
I just took that off.
Okay.
Yep. And then I've had lots of caffeine. Yeah. And you gain you gain 14 hit points instead of 7. So you'll gain another 7 Zephyros. I think that pushes Pixel and Fereosae into healthy, and it looks like everyone else is fine.
I had specific damage, or Zephyros had specific damage to his knee. Does he have to keep track of that, or can I just wipe that?
No, that was probably flavor text.
Okay, cool.
Tech himself still has a little bit of damage,
He
right?
still has a little bit of damage because I don't think you can play doctor yourself.
I don't think so. Yeah,
I
but
can play
it's not
Doctor.
very much. Tech would let you play doctor, I think. Yeah.
There was 8 hours of sleep, 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours. So yeah, you could have timed it that you provided some healing to Tech that evening. Give me a heal check. This will burn up a separate charge of your healer's kit.
I'm not going to use it.
You're not gonna use it?
No.
Okay. If you don't use your healer's kit, I think you're taking a -2.
Well, is it an additional minus, or is it just that plus is not there?
The plus is not there, and you take an additional penalty of 2. It's like you're trying to play doctor without using bandages and clean string and needles and. No problem. All right, so Tech is fully healed. You bandaged him up. He just gave you a nod, and he seems to appreciate your business-like nature. Makronam, you catch kind of looking at you the next morning with 3 eyeballs. Coming out of the top of the bag, really creepy thing. One of the Varks goes up to Zephyros and tugs on your cloak.
Yes?
You get junk you need? We leave now?
No, not yet. We have to go back as soon as we're healed. We still haven't found what we came here for.
Go back to Bostera, yes?
No, go back to where we came from, all damaged and hurt and injured.
More junk down there?
Much more junk. We still haven't gotten there.
Down there is dangerous. Cadaverous Vark are about. Look!
And he goes to the edge, and you can see wandering around kind of the vicinity of where the dead Yurthak and Desert Rothe are at least heading in that direction. You see these really large land ridden birds.
Ooh.
Wings way too small to fly. They've got saddles on them, huge axe-like beaks, and there seem to be some painted Vark in leathers, kind of hodgepodge of armor. They've got spears, and they look like they have bows. They look actually pretty formidable for Vark. And you see them kind of skirting across the plain in the general direction to where your fight the previous day had happened.
Are they looking for junk? I'm asking the Vark.
Yep.
No, they are Cadaverous Vark. All dead things belong to them.
I suppose there's a few things for them to find over there. The
Yeah, they can
professor.
have it.
He tugs on your cloak again, like you're about to like ignore him or whatever.
You better be careful. If they do not find bodies, they make bodies and then find junk.
We made plenty of bodies for them.
If they try to find our bodies, they'll find their own.
Yes, you are great slayers. Leave many bodies behind you in your wake.
Although I have to admit, I
Fair
could
point.
use a little bit of
We'll
resting.
make sure we set a good watch.
Slayers, the professor says, turning to the Vark indignant. Why, sir, I am a professor. I take umbrage at such a combo.
Is umbrage good for junk?
I swear. You really Vark me sometimes.
You would take it?
You could take umbrage, yes.
I turn to the bag, kind of nudge at the professor, and I guess quietly, but not like hiding ask, like, is he always like this?
Oh, Professor is always full of knowledge. He's always telling us stuff.
Gotcha.
It's like he's overflowing and he can't keep it in.
At that moment, the professor will unknowingly fart an old man fart he can't control.
May I take a look at your cursed statue?
Yeah, I had another.
I'll
May
watch
I,
those.
may I attempt to
Vark.
break the curse on your statue?
Try and see if I can see
Uh,
where it came
Remove the
from.
curse. Break is a bad word to use, isn't it?
How do you know how to do that?
Oh, because I know how to put them on.
From where?
From the Fae.
Tell me about it.
It's part of my nature, I think. It's gifted to me by Autumn, my patron.
Tell me about that.
Autumn communicates through Pixel. Autumn is the feeling of ending that you know is coming, but isn't here yet.
It is the last spark of life before the cold.
Yes, yes, the death of winter. Autumn is the joy of knowing that you still have time left, perhaps, and the horror of what is sure to come.
He looks like he's sure dressed for autumn or maybe winter.
Yes, you know of the winter. The beastlands are still alive, but Garden has fallen into winter. But Autumn says it is not time for this one yet. Still, we must stay ahead of it. Autumn is a season. It ebbs and flows. It is there in its time.
Okay, I think I appreciate that story.
It is not
Yeah.
time for this thing to end yet, so we should bring it back.
Do you speak Sylvan?
No.
Okay, so when Pixel speaks, she sounds like.
Well, I will have heard that though.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but I kind of understand.
Her voice is very
There's communication.
tiny,
Right.
buzzing.
Yeah, I guess I'd take the bear out and kind of put it next to me and look at what you're doing.
Gremlins taught me a bit too. I'll cast Remove Curse on it.
Nice. I believe Remove Curse requires a caster level check. Yep. Versus the DC of the curse.
Yep.
Just figure out the DC of the curse.
1d20 plus 7.
The DC of the curse is 19.
Isn't that like pretty low?
That's pretty high. Ha! Almost.
Okay.
18.
So you rolled an 11 and got 18. So
Yep.
You really only have a 45% chance of doing this. And,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So she casts a spell, and there's a wash of magic and kind of a tinkling. The statue glows ever so slightly, but does not change.
It is well cursed.
And then there's like a firecracker fizzling. Like there's an obvious sound of like fail.
I can get it, I think, but it's going to take another try. I'll need some time.
Will attempts like this hurt it?
No. The curse is resilient. So is the stone.
Oh, where did you get the bear statue?
Says Makarnam, who's drooling while looking at it.
While folks are preparing breakfast and things like that,
Yep.
I'm going to try and take an hour and memorize spells again.
Sure.
Knowing that
Zephyrus
it's been a
doing the
little
same
bit
thing he's
difficult,
preparing.
I'm just gonna...
By this time, the Vark have moved out of view. You said you were looking at them?
Yeah, I was watching him for a while
Okay.
all that was going on.
They did pause for a moment. One of them may have looked your way because you do have a campfire and like a little trail of smoke. Although there is still an illusion of this ring of stone around your camp that the bony hand is dutifully concentrating on. Is he invisible?
Yes.
Okay. Fereosae seems to commune with Pixel. Like Pixel sits beside her, and she like not quite prays, but more like meditates for a while. Eventually, Fereosae has done her meditations. Zephyros has finished looking at his book, kind of groaning slightly at the damage he still has. Tech has taken off his bandages and looks fine.
I meditate as well.
Yeah, to prepare your spells in the morning, you feel the power of Iambulus bestow your spells to you. Looks like everyone's ready to go about for the day. They're packing up camp a little bit. Tech ends up feeding the giant desert rothe, and Fereosae creates a bit of water. The Vark look nervous. It looks like they're ready to leave. Like they've taken their big giant beetles out of the brush, they've packed up their stuff, and they're kind of like gathering onto their beetles and waiting.
Where are all you going? I'll say as I walk up.
We must be ready to get out of Vark.
Ah, worried about those Varks walking around Vark there?
Yes.
Yes, better to be ready in case of emergency.
We will go that way today if you go down into here. Cadaverous Vark are dangerous.
Will you be back?
Yes.
Oh, who will keep an eye on? I'll say, gesturing vaguely at the desert rothe.
Do you want us to bring him with us? Better he come with us than become junk.
I suppose, I'll say, turning and looking at Zephyros and Tech and everyone else.
Can't we bring him?
A bit of a steep hike to get him down that hill. Probably best to let the Vark tend to him. You will be back tonight, yes, Vark? I have your Vark on that.
Yes.
Where we're going, we'll probably find plenty of junk and we'll bring some back for you.
Oh,
Yes, that would be good.
yes.
You are not interested in dead bodies,
I'm
are
gonna
you?
try...
No, we are not allowed. Cadaverous Vark get all dead bodies.
Do you have perhaps a list we could use of reference of junk you'd like?
Any junk that we can carry.
Memory's not what it was. Maybe write it down and get it for me.
Junk.
I'll say
You
as
don't
I
know what
walk
junk
away.
is?
I'm gonna try and remove curse
He
again.
does not know what junk is.
That seems to annoy them and confound them at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they're having like a very heated discussion amongst
It
themselves.
doesn't make
their hands
sense.
going up into the air and they're pointing at
junk.
you like, come on!
Yeah.
What do you mean? You hear one of them saying,
I will explain it to him. Any junk you can carry.
Alright, try number 2 on remove curse.
all right, drum rolls.
You got
19.
it.
Right on. Okay.
Wonderful.
The runes on the bear statue begin to light up one by one. and
there we go.
they begin to get
Leaving it.
really, really bright, like a hot white magnesium kind of fire. Like, ugh. You're forced to look away for a moment. The statue is growing. It reaches the size of your medium-sized bear and continues to grow.
I'm super into it.
There is
Like, yes, this is awesome.
there is sort of a bone popping and sort of a yelp that turns into a very, very heavy grunt as Balamut grows to an immense size that suggests that he is fully grown, as
I will
opposed
take
to
several steps back.
Texarak Gagat moves back. He's got his hands on one of his blades, or two of his hands on one of his blades, and then Fereosae takes a few steps back. Balamut just sort of huffs a little bit, licks Saun's.
Yeah, I'm like fucking all over this shit. Like, hugging.
He just pulls his big bear, and out the bear is sort of licking you and
Yeah.
is biting playfully. Tech has moved back. The desert Rothe did not like this and has moved back and has turned around and is now like almost ready to charge.
Can
you calm the Rothe?
Tech's gonna try to calm the Rothe.
Can I try as well?
Yep.
Like handle animal, I guess, or
Are you letting Tech take the lead and you're aiding, or are you taking the lead and Tech's aiding?
letting him take the lead.
Tech's handle animal is 0, so
Well, I don't know that fact.
Yeah.
Or I guess
Actually-
can I tell that like he doesn't know what he's doing?
listen, what were we using last time that he was?
He has ride, but this does not. Oh, he has wild empathy. That's what. he
Oh,
was
that's
using.
right. And wild empathy lets him use diplomacy.
Is
At
the
a
growth history now?
bonus, I believe.
Yeah, better.
That makes sense.
Right. I think it's diplomacy, but not with a bonus.
I will cast auditory hallucination on the Rothe. And
Do I see you casting?
yeah, I'm visible. I'm over here casting because the Rothe's freaking out, right?
Alright. Well, I guess if I see that, I'm not gonna like shoot you, but I would be like, hey, stop! Like, don't do anything. And then, because I take it, I see that.
He adds his ranger level. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he gets a D20 roll, adds 6 and -2 for Christmas. So
Well,
Okay.
plus 4.
So do I see like that he doesn't know what he's doing, basically, or
He doesn't totally not know what he's doing.
It's pretty neophyte.
He's gonna go in and start trying to calm.
I guess if I see that like this is amateur,
Yeah.
then I would try to take the lead.
Okay, so Saun, calm down. A bunch of fucking hands like this,
ching.
exactly. Saun's like, that's not how you talk to things with fur. You push Tech out of the way, so I'm going to force Tech to aid.
Yep.
So give me the aid roll first.
19.
19 is an aid, you get a +2 from Tech's roll. The cooing noises of the...
Nice.
Oh. Okay, the Rothe does not like the bear. The bear is just sitting there. He doesn't seem to care about the Rothe. Professor, are you doing anything?
As I see Saun sort of step up and take the lead there,
Yeah.
the spell will die on my lips before being cast. Like, well, that's convenient.
Okay.
Under control over there, gentlemen.
Fereosae, you doing anything?
I am flying up.
Fucking animals. Pixels coming with you. Mocrodom slips onto Zephyrus's backpack and kind of nestles in like he always does. Zephyrus, are you doing anything?
Zephyrus he's taking evasive action, but slowly. In other words, he's not looking the beast in the eyes or anything like that. He's just trying to not be intimidated.
Okay. Balamut's just sitting there, like he's looking at the Desert Rothe. Okay, the Desert Rothe makes almost like a feint attack. Like he lurches forward, and I'm gonna roll a D3. 1, he does damage to the wheelbarrow by accident.
No! no!
The wheelbarrow is smashed by the desert rothe.
The professor cries out wailing, grasping towards it in a vain attempt.
We'll just say that the wheelbarrow is 5 hit point, 5 hardness and 10 hit points. Let's see what a rothe could do to that.
Smash it up.
The desert rothe with a gore does 2d6 plus 15. So yeah, it just does more damage than the wooden wheelbarrow has hit points.
I'll cast Mage Hand in attempt
I think I
to
appreciate
lift the
that.
pillow out.
Because the thing looks like it's strong,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it kind of like just tosses the wheelbarrow off to the side with like a unmeasured swing, and then stomps on the remains of the wheelbarrow. It is definitely like it thinks that Balamut's a predator.
okay. And can I tell that?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
still fucking angry.
All right, so I guess I call Balmut to me like, "Hey, get behind me. This thing's afraid of you for
Okay.
some reason."
Balamut kind of sniffs at the rothe, and it's really well behaved. He moves right behind Saun and makes a noise at the desert rothe, but doesn't attack.
How interesting.
Yeah, so I'm in between the bear and the.
Yep. So you issued a command. You still have a standard action left. You could try again.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, can these things be applied in combat?
I'd let a handle animal check apply.
Okay. Yeah, then that's absolutely what I want to do. Like,
That
I'm just
is-
trying to calm down. I'm not trying to hurt.
Yep.
Deck is helpful. Deck is going to assist again.
Okay. And is there a penalty for a subsequent attempt?
No. The thing is not hostile to you, so I'll let you keep on.
There's
Right.
Tech's successful assist.
Tech gives you a +2. He's still going.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
He's banging the swords together rhythmically as well.
You manage to grab it by a nose ring and kind of give it a little bit of a tug. They place the nose ring into this big creature for this exact same reason, giving you a place as a much smaller creature to kind of manhandle it.
Mhm.
It twists away from the nose ring, gets annoyed, and just snorts and kind of saunters off to the side. Like it gives up.
I follow. I fucking love that thing.
Yep.
Like, I want to become its friend.
Oh, this thing is fucking big.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Awesome. It's got a little howdah on top, like a that you could ride in.
Yeah, no, I'm not into that.
It's cool.
I just like the
Oh
animal
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's a sweet animal.
All right,
Yeah.
Professor. While you were preparing, you left your plate of beans, your breakfast by the campfire, and you could see the big new bear is now basically in one lick eats up the beans that were on your plate.
I am completely oblivious because I'm trying to mage hand the pillow
You are good at
smashed by
talking to
this
meat.
thing from the
Tech
wreckage
also
of
understands
the
how to talk to meat.
wheelbarrow.
What was in the wreckage?
I know.
It was a
I don't
pillow
understand
and a
that.
parasol.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just holding up the pillow, inspecting it
So,
from afar with a tear in my eye.
The pillow's fine and the parasol's fine. Oh, you're lucky.
Oh,
How's that physically possible?
It overturned the cart and smashed it, and just the thin parasol
got
they
kicked
just got
out.
kicked out.
Yeah.
I will summon an unseen servant. I will hand him the parasol, have him open it, and put the pillow in my pack and stand here in the shade of the unseen servant.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Saun seems to be decent with animals, and there's this animal that is dressed in a shirt of chainmail, which somehow grew with the bear.
Just convenient.
That is eating anyone's unattended breakfast. It seems completely oblivious to the rest of you, or really uninterested in all of you, and just not hostile whatsoever.
Yeah, when after I try to make friends with
Yeah,
Rothe,
the Rothe.
I go back to Balamut and because we had tons of meat from We had like meat sled. That's right.
You had a meat sled.
Yes, you did.
At this point, Tech is guarding the meat sled from the bear. The bear sniffing in the air.
We have a lot more meat than we need. Yeah.
You're pretty certain after this, you kind of the creature allows you to grab the bull ring. You're pretty sure that you could ride this thing. At this point in time, you could use ride checks to move it around, or continue to make it do stuff. You don't think it is combat trained. The way it kind of attacked the air in front of the creature it was threatening suggests that it's meant for travel and like a beast of burden. Like it's not war trained is what I'm trying to. That's not to say with time and effort you couldn't war train it.
Is that how D&D works?
That's how D&D works.
Ted can go ahead and do some expert butchery on
I think
some of
there's
this meat.
also a ranger or druid spell that you temporarily grant an animal war trained.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it's a level 2.
Nice.
So I glanced at the spells. I'm like, that's a neat spell. So yeah, Saun comes back over and kind of spends some time with Balamut. Balamut looks like a massive grizzly bear. Well behaved, and Saun is speaking to it in a language that you guys have never heard before. It sounds, how would you describe Kavangian, which is like a Slavic or Russian language? What would be the
You
traits?
only hear consonants.
Okay.
There's no vowels.
And the bear seems really alert and responsive to what Saun is saying, and it's not quite talking back, but it's like he understands.
Ew, most peculiar.
How interesting.
He's got a big pet, says Pixel. My, look at the size of those teeth and claws.
I guess at some point I turn back and with like a lot of joy in my face, I'm like, isn't this an excellent bear? To you. Like, because, we communicate about this. Like, is this great?
Tech or Fereosae?
Fereosae.
Fereosae. It's a very impressive bear indeed.
So I turn back to him and I'm like, you hear that?
A creature of the forests?
Beastlands.
The beastlands. Forested parts of the beastlands, I hope. Yes? Yes.
They
right?
were forested once. I'm not sure they are anymore.
Well, I'm glad we've freed it, I think. It seems to be your good friend.
The best.
Tech
Good.
throws a huge slab of strange animal meat at the bear's feet, and the bear starts chewing on him.
Excellent.
He steps back from it, though. He's not sure about the bear.
I guess at some point I would turn to Tech and be like, this is my friend, don't hurt it.
Okay.
Is he dangerous?
No, not to us.
Then you should introduce him to our...
What do you call you guys?
our hive.
I guess I would turn to the others and be like, what's he talking about? The hive?
You should start with the Omega first, and then Zephyros.
Tech says
and
you should
then
introduce your bear to the
Fereosae.
professor.
I guess I nod. I turn to the professor
And then to each of us.
right.
Maybe
Well,
we could do it all at once.
sure.
Yeah.
You met him.
Old man, this way.
Oh, yes, what?
you
I'll
called
say
him
walking
Balut.
over as the
Balut.
thing carries the parasol with me,
Balamut.
covering
Balamut.
me in shade.
Excellent.
Okay, there's a floating parasol with some sort of almost visible vague shape behind the professor as the professor comes forward. The bear just sits on its hindquarters and sniffs.
I will lock eyes with the bear, and I will hold out my hand and say, "It is nice to meet you," palm up, and I will quick draw into my other hand a wand of silent illusion, and I will cast silent image into my hand. and slowly a pine tree will grow and grow, filling, I think, 70 feet high in length out of my hands as roots start to wrap around it. It blows in a silent breeze.
What is the quick action? Like, how does the bear react to that?
The bear snorted at that, kind of growled a little bit, but
At that point, I'm just kind of looking.
yeah, he's just sort of looking up at it, and he's trying to bite. He's trying to bite the thing.
The leaves will turn yellow and dry and brittle and burst into flames, disappearing into ash. I must warn you, Saun. You will see strange things about me. You must not be afraid.
The bear backed away from the tree that was burning a little bit.
Yeah, from the fire, I think
Yep.
it would.
You must let him know as well. You will see things that will be terrifying to us all.
I think from the things I've seen so far, or that Saun has seen so far, his impression of the professor is that the professor is like slightly mentally retarded. So I guess I would turn to the bear and say, you know, in the language that we speak, like, be careful with this one. He's slow on the uptake, but you know, he's a friend.
The bear is, when you turn around, is on his back and trying to like bat at some of the embers. It's like playing with his illusion, and he finds he does not perceive the professor as a threat whatsoever. In fact, the bear didn't even seem interested in you.
What language was that, though?
Give me a linguistics check. You guys don't. I don't think this language is on any of your character sheets.
No, I don't think so either.
Well, I don't know what it is, and I have a few on my character sheet, so I don't know.
Yep. Give me a linguistics check to figure out if you know what language it is.
Okay.
Alright, no linguistics.
$30.
29.
Yeah, both of you recognize what language it is. It's called Kavangian.
Ooh, Kavangian. Interesting.
From the context of station, there would be small pockets of Kavangian hunters or gypsy folk that might speak this language.
Before turning away from the bear, I'll quick stow my silent image wand and cast the cantrip Haunted Fey aspect on myself, turning me into an insane-looking Fey creature, and I will turn to Saun and say, putting my hand on his shoulder, I warned you, Saun, for the good of us all. You must maintain your mind.
Have I seen you cast?
Probably.
I've seen him make illusory effects that are approximately
just saying
the same
last-
volume as 24 humans.
Yep.
Well, no, but the last spell, like, have I seen the action of
You
cast?
probably would have seen me do a hand motion,
Right,
and I would have
yeah.
mumbled
So,
some
okay,
words.
so in other words, I know it's still you,
Yeah.
and again, the response is like I'm talking to, you know, an autistic person, so it's basically something along the lines of like I tap your, I guess, top of the head because that's all I can reach, and it's like, yes, whatever you say.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
whatever you say, just don't mind me. Don't mind your elders. It's fine. I say as I wander back over to stare at where the Vark went.
Right.
Now it is Zephyrus' turn.
Well, Zephyrus is still injured, right?
Yep.
Oh, he's
I
injured
f-
a lot.
I feel like Bear would smell the blood.
Well, let's see. The Fierce is down to 16 damage, I think.
Okay.
Oh, is it 16 now? I still have it as 32 in the card.
No, that 32 is after the healing.
Oh, 32 is after. Oh,
He was in the
I
first.
didn't take
Yeah.
take all of it into account. Wonderful.
We have some more healing items we should probably use.
So it is still 32, right?
Yep. Yeah, your bear is smart. It's fed. You're not telling it to attack. You don't think it's going to attack the Fant.
Oh, check this out. Fereosae is going to cast Endure Elements on herself.
Yeah, Professor will as well.
Fereosae has had endure elements for several levels.
Nice.
And has been sponging it off other people anyway for some reason.
Yeah, save it. Save it. You might need it later in the day.
Tech has a ring of fire resistance, so he's
Yeah.
guarded against the hot desert temperatures.
I got a parasol.
Yes, I think the professor is affected. It is early in the day, so if you traveled now, it might not be as bad.
I've got it.
Zephyros casts it on itself as well. But he has an extra one. Does anybody else need it, or can he prepare anything else in the slot?
I'm fine. Anyone else?
Well, what do you actually ask? Or do you literally name the spell?
I suppose while we're having this conversation, everybody understands what Endure Elements is, and I suppose that Saun does not know what Endure Elements is. So does he ask?
So everyone's like,
Well, there is an Endure Elements version that is a ranger spell, and although I don't have it,
then you know what it is.
yeah, but I feel like I would know what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's a spell that you can cast or potentially prepare, then you know it.
Okay.
It's I think it's basic.
Okay, so they seem to be, well, they say what spells they're casting, so you actually have no training to identify people casting spells. But now that they say what spell it is, you're like, you understand. Effectively, it keeps you cool in hot conditions and warm in cool conditions.
Like a permanent AC in your body.
Right. Yeah, I guess I respond to that and I say, hey, can you give it to my bear?
Can you cast it?
No, I cannot.
So you do not have it either.
No.
So you're choosing not to get it, but instead to give it to your bear.
Yeah.
The bear is sitting up and not acting playful when Zephyros approaches. It's basically sitting beside Saun. It's behaving, it pays a bit more attention when the really large creature approaches.
Zephyros asks Saun, how do I introduce myself to the bear without threatening it?
Same way you'd introduce yourself to me.
Okay, so Zephyros looks at him funnily because Zephyros remembered that the introduction was "Don't die." But Zephyros does not say that to the bear. He just holds out his hand and in sort of like a gestury motion, knowing that the bear can't shake it, but still being unsure as to how to.
The bear is waiting for Saun to say it's okay.
Yeah, I kind of nod to the bear and
Okay.
in convention I say, this is a friend, introduce yourself.
He sniffs your hand, then sits back on his hindquarters and kind of like paws at your hand with his big claw.
Zephyros strokes him and says hello and makes sure that the bear gets Zephyros' smell all up in his nose and knows what it's all about.
The bear seems to be easily distracted and is excited at something that's on your back.
And Zephyros tells the bear that you shouldn't worry. He actually says the same to Saun as well.
The bear's now circling Zephyros, trying to get at your back. It saw something move, and you know it's the bag with the weird tentacles and eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Zephyros is just preparing them as he's bringing the bag over, so that they don't get a fear and a fright. And Zephyros says to them, "This is another friend. His name is Mokranam."
Well,
He sniffs a bunch at Mokranam, and then Mokranam's like, oh. The bear seems startled a little bit, and then sniffs at it and kind of paws at the bag. And
so I see this.
Yep.
I kind of come up and I, say to the bear like, "Hey, this is the smartest thing here." Like,
he sniffs at it, and the bear
probably smells some herbs from the night before.
licks the bag, although the bag is really, really slimy, and the bear then spends the next few minutes just kind of like pawing at its own tongue.
Oh, that tickled.
So I say to the bag like, "This is my bear. This is a bag."
Oh, he's much too big for eating or keeping.
Zephyros explains to them that Mokranam either keeps things inside his body, which is much bigger than we can see, and otherwise he eats things, and he's always hungry.
The bear is now looking up at Fereosae and Pixel, who are keeping their height kind of floating around camp.
I'll go ahead and start to circle downward.
Tech launches himself kind of close to Fereosae. Bear
I'll
sniffs
land
at,
next to Tech then.
the bear sniffs at Fereosae.
And I kind of not forewarn, but like as Fereosae approaches, I basically say the same thing, like, "Hey, Bear, this is a friend."
Welcome back. Welcome back to the world.
Yeah. By the way, the bear does not understand common,
That's fine.
but I don't say that.
yeah, no, and I don't.
It
yeah.
leans in and kind of nudges you with its big wet nose.
Right. I'll just hold a hand out for it to nuzzle instead. No.
I think they're dry.
I think after getting licked, or after licking Makarnam and spending the last 5 minutes
Fair enough.
trying to salivate Makarnam's ick out of its mouth, his nose is ready. It looks at Pixel and kind of gingerly, like kind of pads at Pixel and kind of bats at Pixel. Pixel's like, tee!
Yeah, Pixel's quick.
All right, it seems to have been introduced to everyone. It then sits on the opposite side of the fire and stares at the Vark, which weren't introduced.
Before that happens, Zafiro steps up and he casts Endure Elements on the bear.
Okay, the bear, yeah, it made friends fast and then just seemed to ignore all of you. The spell goes into the bear. There's a flash.
And then Zephyros turns around and casts Endure Elements on Saun as well.
Okay, you feel the growing oppressive heat of the desert wash away.
I turn to them and like, "Thank you."
Are you going to go get junk now? Are you taking Bear with you?
I guess I would turn to that and be like, "Bear's coming with us." And then I turn back to the party and like,
Yep, the Vark.
"Where are we going?"
The Vark look relieved, although some of them, if you speak Vark, are complaining that if the bear stayed, maybe they could have got some junk from the bear.
I don't speak that, but
Meaning whatever saddlebag and armor the bear is obviously carrying.
Goddamn scavengers.
Alright, what are you guys doing? Morning has come and gone. It is now late morning by the time you have finished healing yourselves, preparing your spells, and...
We should go to this place.
Yes, was there a back way we could approach? Oh, are the Varks, the Cadaverous Varks,
Go by the
still
Cadaverous
over?
Vark.
You can't. So there is an outcropping of rock that is blocking your view of the killing fields from yesterday.
But I saw them go over there, and
You saw them go over there. Yep.
That's where the bodies are, so that's probably where they are. They'll have to drag them around for a while, I suppose.
I don't particularly want to fight Cadaverous Vark this morning if we don't have to.
Not yet.
Is there any other ways around?
I would appreciate if we do not fight today. I am still feeling the fight from yesterday.
Oh, about that, perhaps we should look about giving you a potion or something.
We have a wand.
Yes, Tech. Can you do the honors?
Yes, I will use the wand to make Zephyros well.
Doesn't he have a lot of charges in that one?
He's got a wand with a single charge, which he'll keep. He's got a wand with 50 charges. He will use 6 charges from that wand to heal Zephyros to of 30 damage.
So Zephyros ends up with just 2 damage.
You will live.
I am sure I will. Thank you, Tech. Much appreciated.
Okay, Tech just busily puts the wand away.
Well, it would be ideal if we could cross the valley without those Varks seeing us. I hear they guard the front entrance of this place, but knowing our abilities to sneak, I have doubts about such a course of action.
Well, I am not the most stealthy. I'm an Fant, after all. I leave a trail of smoke as I walk.
Yes, well, I suppose we should just take the shortest route or wait for them to march back or march right to them? What do you say, anyone?
Fox, Kenny, how's it going?
I think perhaps we should beat them to the punch.
Straight.
Actually, they're probably faster than us on those birds.
Yes, but we'll see them coming. I suppose they'll make even more dust. We could turn